farther ahead. I think his grasp of what we're trying to do offensively, as well as his mechanics. You asked for a number, I don't know, but I do know this. I sleep a lot easier at night than I did last year around this time. I'm not saying he's a finished product by any stretch of the imagination, but it does make coming to work a little bit easier knowing that he is progressing the way that he is.
I was going to say, is he more fluent, in the language of the offense and everything else? Is that what? Explain
Absolutely.
what that means.
Yeah,
to
we speak the same language. He understands. There's no confusion on his part when I say something. Coach, what do you mean by that? Coach, I say it again a different way. It's there are times when it's still a little bit of that, but for the most part, we speak the same language. We talk, about things defensively, offensively, his fundamentals, where the route should be, how the defense is covering it, cloud corner versus an off corner versus a man corner. All those things they're second nature to him. He doesn't have to think about it, and it makes, the learning curve that much faster even, the more he learns, the more fluent he gets. Now the more we can go, and it just kind of snowballs a little bit.
How much of a difference does it make to have the offensive staff together for a second year?
Oh, I think you look at most of the successful college football teams across the country, and one of the main pieces of that puzzle is staff continuity. I think 120 Division I teams, I think there was only 18 that kept the same 9 assistants, and so we take a lot of pride in that. Obviously, Ohio State, I don't know of a better place to work for Coach Meyer and what we've got going here. So it's easy for us assistants to stick around, certainly, but I do think that has a lot to do with the direction of it.
Hey, Coach, what about what do you have at your disposal this year in terms of weapons? And we've heard a number of coaches say we only used 60% of the playbook last year. Given the talent in the backfield and other places?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I've said early in camp is that our veterans are improved. They're better. Yeah. Evan Spencer's had a great camp. Evan Spencer's a starting wide receiver at The Ohio State University. Philly Brown is better. Devin Smith is better. So we're better on our tight ends. I challenge anybody in the country to have 2 better tight ends, 1 and 2 than we have. So I think that coupled with the infusions of some of the young talent with Dontre and Ezekiel and James Clark and some of those guys, that it allows you to not feel as constricted in terms of your trust level in the guys out there making plays and being in the right spot. But at the same time, we have to temper that too as coaches, because I think one of the things that has really helped our improvement this fall camp is we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, where last year it was, oh my gosh, we're doing this for 3 days straight and we're terrible at it, so let's try something different, and let's try something different 3 days later. And so we never really had an identity throughout training camp, and this year it feels like we do. And so we've got to be careful not to, we got all these new toys, let's create a whole new offense every week or every period of practice or anything like that. We're going to do what we do and plug those pieces of puzzles in where need be.
I'm sorry. Braxton completed about 58% of his passes last year. What's acceptable in your mind? What's he got to work up to this year?
I think our goal is our goal would be 70%. I think at the end of the day, if he's right at 67%, 2 out of 3 passes, and that's on me as it is Braxton, as much as it is Braxton, because I didn't do a very good job of calling plays to get the ball out of his hands as well as I could. And then when I did, he's got to take some ownership on that too. We didn't complete as many as should be on some of those higher percentage passes. So I think our goal this year is and that's certainly not unattainable. You think you go from 58 to 68, you're talking about 10 more completions out of 100 attempts. 1 out of every 10 attempts, just 1 more completion out of 10 attempts. I think that's fairly realistic.
He says he'd like to get at that 30 attempt range or more a game. Do you see him as that kind of with that kind of capability?
That's probably pretty accurate. As we look at the breakdown of who we are and what our personality is, we're still always going to be a run-first team and set up the play-action pass and the first down drop-back screens, quick relief plays off of the